Next week, I kick off the hiking season with a through hike of the Ozark Trail in Missouri. Wanted to let you know about 13 new items you're going to see with me on the trail. Welcome back, hikers, to a special gear edition on the channel. I am ready for this thing to start. I cannot wait to get into the hiking season. The Ozark Trail is just days upon me. And I wanted to let you know about all of these new items I'm testing out on the trail. All these things I have little to absolutely no experience testing out on the trail yet. And as you know, I really enjoy just getting out there and trying different things, seeing what different things work, what doesn't work. As I can, try to let you guys know how everything goes. I know I'm a little behind on gear reviews. I get a lot of comments about different things that I've taken with me on the trail that I haven't had a chance to do a full review on, and I hope I can eventually get caught up. The first handful of gear that I'm testing is kind of in that clothing department, starting off with this guy right here. This is the Montbell Versalite jacket. Now this is not the original Versalite jacket. This is actually a reinvented jacket that they have made to be able to be more durable, and it's supposed to feel more comfortable. With the fabric that they're using in this thing, it's supposed to be a little more smoother. And it's got pit zips, which is nice. My current OR rain jacket doesn't have pit zips, so I like that. This is coming in at 6.4 ounces, so it's about a half ounce lighter than what my Outdoor Research Helium 2 rain jacket is. And I do like the feel of this thing. So far, I actually haven't even worn this except for just to try it on, but this is something that I'm excited about. I love rain jackets because there is so much functionality in a rain jacket. I use my rain jackets way more often out on the trail for things like just getting my body heat up and using this as like a windbreaker. Now, if I see the same weather that normally hits in April, I'll be using this thing quite a bit. The next piece of gear is my Patagonia Micro Puff hoodie. Now this thing I actually acquired because I brought back my Nano Puff hoodie. And the reason why is because the stitching, a lot of the stitching, especially on the sleeves, were starting to come out after about a month and a half of use. And the stitching was actually catching on little things as I walked by and just got really annoying. So brought it into Patagonia. There's a Patagonia shop pretty close to where I live. It's in St. Paul. Decided to go with their lightest synthetic jacket. So this is about 5 ounces lighter than the average Nano Puff hoodie, which comes in at 9.3 ounces. Woo! Usually come in 5s. Now the temperatures I'm going to see on the Ozark Trail are going to be about 20 degrees lower than what the typical temperatures would be in the middle of April. Usually we would see somewhere in the mid to upper 60s as highs and then somewhere in the mid 40s as lows. And I'm looking about the opposite. I'm looking about the 40s, mid 40s to be the high, and somewhere in the low 30s, maybe even 20s as the low. So bringing a couple pairs of gloves. The first pair of gloves I got are the Possum Down gloves from Z-Packs. The materials for these gloves are made from New Zealand brushtail possum fur and New Zealand merino lamb wool. So between the materials, this actually is able to keep you quite warm. The possum fur is supposed to be hollowed, kind of like polar bears. This is going to not just be incredibly warm, but it's going to dry incredibly fast. And then I'm going to pair them up with the Virtus rain mitts. These things weigh like an ounce. I got these for my birthday. Miss Bigfoot purchased them for me, and I'm going to see a lot of rain on the trail. Usually it rains a ton in April anyway in Missouri. And lastly is a new pair of trekking poles I'm super stoked about. These are the Black Diamond Alpine FLZ trekking poles. Now with these trekking poles, they are the Z-style type of pole, so they're the folding poles. And what I like about them, these are the brand new 2018 versions. When you open these things up, the pin that is normally right here has been replaced with a latch. And basically you can lift it up and it unreleases the locking pin, and then you just pull it down and it locks. I like that a lot because it's easier to release the button. This is just a lot more simple and smooth. I love it. It's got cork handles, which is a must for me now. I really love cork handles. And of course it's a Z-pole. I love the Z-poles. That's kind of what my preference is, because when I am hiking on a flat, I will typically stow these things away. I don't have to take off my pack for Z-poles. I can just slide them in my side pouch. Now, these are aluminum. Prefer aluminum over carbon fiber because I've never had a carbon fiber pole last on me. I've done a video about that. I'll link it above here and you can see that. Now the tips are the interchangeable tips, which are kind of nice. So I actually have the rubber tips on them right now. And then the baskets. I really like these baskets. They're bigger than the normal Black Diamond baskets, which is important for me because I need a little bit more surface area when my tips are being lodged into the ground. I have had many issues with my tips breaking, bending and breaking, because the velocity of how fast I'm going, and with these going straight into the ground, it's hard for me to pull them out while I'm hiking forward, and it just bends and breaks over time. This will prevent it from going further into the ground, so hopefully I can get more miles out of my tips. The other thing that I like is, check that out. See those kind of two little holes right there? What it does when you put these things together is it basically locks the trekking pole together so it just stays like that. Easier to put in my pack, easier to take out of my pack. So that's something that I thought was a really cool little design. I have very high expectations for these poles, and if they don't come close to them, I'm going to be really disappointed. Now let's talk about technology. So I had this really crazy idea that I wanted to bring a gimbal out on the trail to really up my game with trail vlogging. So I bought the Evo gimbal. This is the one that I found to be able to fit my iPhone 7 Plus, which is the camera I use to be able to vlog at this moment. It's all one big piece of electronic, which means that I'm not going to be able to have this out there without keeping it protected. So I'd have to bring this case with it. The combined weight of both these things is about 24 or 25 ounces, which is a lot of weight. We're supposed to get a ton of rain out on the Ozark Trail, or I'm assuming we're going to get a ton of rain like we always do in April. I just don't know that this was going to be worth it. Now, I add in the mix that I have never used one of these things, and I haven't even tested this thing out yet. So I've decided to not bring this out on the Ozark Trail just because I don't want to wreck it my first time using it. And I don't even know what I'm doing with this thing. Now, since I'm not bringing the gimbal, I need to bring some sort of tripod to be able to hold up my phone, be able to take some cool trail shots, and also to be able to hold the vlog with. I've used the Joby GorillaPod before in the past, but there's some things that I don't like about this, and I decided to try something new. This is the UBesize tripod. I got this on Amazon, and it wasn't too bad. It was probably about half the price of one of these GorillaPods. The weight difference is 1.5 ounces. This weighs 1.5 ounces less. Comes in at 5.4 ounces, where this is like 6.9. This also came with a nice little iPhone adapter. And what I love about this, there's a few things. It's got foam for the tripod legs. That's encased around the inside, which is more comfortable to be able to hold. So when I'm vlogging, it's nice to have that little bit of comfort. The legs are longer than the GorillaPod, which is nice because it just gives you a little more versatility. Now, what's nice about this tripod is the plate that's holding these legs in is metal, not plastic, which is in the inside of here. I think that was a big selling point for me. I believe that this is going to be more durable on the trail. And the coolest feature that I love a lot is how easy that this thing pops off. So when I'm on the trail, I'm going to have my phone inside of here vlogging like this. There's going to be times, many times, that I want to take this phone right off. I don't want to carry it on top of the tripod and then slide this back in my pack. So usually what you have to do is you open up this and then pull out your phone. But what's nice about this is I can just go like that. There's a couple of buttons here, and this could go pop in and then pop out. So if I want, I never really have to take the adapter off. I keep my phone inside of my chest pack. It just makes it easier to be able to pull this out and then throw it on my tripod on the go. And then when I'm done vlogging, then I can just pop this thing off. My next electronic I'm testing out is a new headlamp. This is the Black Diamond Iota. I picked this up at REI. What I like about this is, number one, it weighs 1.9 ounces, which is the same as my Black Diamond Ion. However, this is rechargeable, so I'm not going through all the batteries. This is 150 lumens compared to the Ion that was 100 lumens, so I got more power with this thing, and when I need to recharge it, I can just recharge it right off of my brick. I always have a micro USB with me anyway. All the reasons that I bought the Ion, which is really the weight, this has with a lot more features. My last electronic is a new wall charger. This is made by Anker. It's the Quick Charge 3.0. This thing is supposed to be able to charge a battery brick in about half the time that a normal wall charger would charge it, which is really important because I don't want to stick around town waiting for my backup battery or my brick to charge. My 20,000 milliamp Anker charger was taking about 16 hours to charge. Hoping to be able to save some time by charging my device a lot faster with this thing. Moving right along to the kitchen, you may be familiar with the Vargo 1 liter bot that I've been using during 2017 for my pot of choice. I have recently downgraded or upgraded to the Vargo 700 milliliter bot. The reason why I made the change is because I really haven't needed the extra space of the 1 liter, the 900 milliliters. And the other thing you can see here is just how much larger the 1 liter bot is, which means I have less space in my pack. Now the nice thing also about the 700 milliliter is it's got pot handles. So I don't have to worry about, taking my bandana or something to pull this off my stove when it's hot, when I have boiling water in there. I can just do this nice and comfortably and conveniently. Plus, I can use this as a cup. Has a lot more versatility than the 1 liter. It just doesn't, of course, have as much capacity, and frankly, I really don't need it anyway. I've been talking about this piece of gear. I went and got the Ursac Major, so I finally did it. I'm going to use this out on the Ozark Trail and see how it works out. This comes in at 8.7 ounces, so of course, it's a lot heavier than the bear bagging kit that I used before, which the Z-Packs one weighed 3.5 ounces, and that was including the line and the rucksack and everything. And this is 8.7 ounces, but this does not need to be hung in the tree. You can just tie this around a limb. I also have the OpSac lock sack in here, which is the odor-proof bag that they recommend, that Ursac recommends that you put in this as well to be able to get rid of many of those odors. On the Ozark Trail, I'm kind of excited to not have to go and try to find the tree, the best tree, to be able to throw my line over and get everything ready to pull up my bear bag before I go to bed. I can just tie this to any old limb on my way into the tent. Nice. Now my last couple items have to deal with comfort, and the first thing is a different camp pillow. Now, this is something that I never thought that I was going to ever bring out on a trail. This, first off, I never thought I was going to bring a camp pillow because I just used to sleep on my clothes. And it's just amazing when you start using a camp pillow how much better of sleep that you get while you're on the trail. Now, I've been using the Sea to Summit Arrows pillow, and I sleep pretty good on that thing. But I was at REI the other day, and I saw this fleece pillow. It is heavier. It's much heavier than the Sea to Summit, which you're probably going to wonder why in the heck would I do that. It comes in at 4.6 ounces. The Sea to Summit is 2.8 ounces, so it's almost 2 ounces heavier. It is a lot more comfortable. I've laid on it a couple times, and it is Miss Bigfoot approved. That's very important. Miss Bigfoot actually would take this out and sleep on this pillow. Typically when we've gone out in the backcountry, I've had to bring a pillow, an actual pillow for her, and this thing is something that she thought was comfortable enough that she wouldn't need that pillow and she could replace it with this. So I'm actually going to try it out since I'm doing a shorter through hike, and I really want to see if it's worth the couple extra ounces, and if I can sleep a lot better, it is totally worth it. And the last item is a new quilt. I actually got this and testing this thing out from Cedar Ridge Outdoors. It's the LeConte quilt. Now this was something that was sent to me from the owner of Cedar Ridge Outdoors. I did not pay for this quilt. If you know how important the Minnesota Vikings are to me, you know why I chose the colors. This is a 30-degree quilt. They start as low as $190 and will go all the way up to about $375. Chose the wide width. This is the short length. Their length actually is a little bit shorter than what Enlighten Equipment's is. So with my size, I went with the shorter length, and this comes in at 15.6 or 15.8 ounces for a 30-degree quilt. Be putting this thing to the test. I was assuming I would be staying in temperatures somewhere in the mid-40s, but looks like I'll be hitting temperatures as low as 28 degrees. So I will definitely be able to give you a great review on how well this holds up in colder weather, and if this really holds up with the temperature rating that is given. Now lastly, I'm bringing my duplex tent out on the trail, and I have the intentions of trying out Z-Pak's freestanding tent option, which is the Flex Tent upgrade. Now I needed to upgrade my duplex tent because I bought it prior to their current tent. So I sent it to Z-Pak's, I upgraded my tent, I just got it back today, and unfortunately they did not sew in the little rings on the very top of the storm doors. We are going to clip the Flex Tent poles in. So unfortunately, I can't use the Flex Tent poles because there's nothing for it to clip into. So I'm gonna have to send my duplex back out after the trail. So I will not be having the opportunity to be able to test the Flex Tent system out until I get the rest of my duplex upgrade. Anyways, that's it. That's a lot of gear, I know, but I just love going out and just trying new things and continuing to dial in my own personal gear list. And I know my gear is going to continue to evolve every single year. I will do a full gear list of everything I'm bringing on the Ozark Trail. I'll drop that sometime early next week. Now, I'm really curious, what kind of gear are you guys testing out right now on the trail this year? Leave them below in the comments. If you found this video at all helpful, give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for more sightings, and remember to always follow Bigfoot. Wait. Don't go. I actually forgot something. I turned off my camera and I was about to head back upstairs and I missed the big one, my Arc Zip. Yes, I'm bringing the Arc Zip out with me on the Ozark Trail. This is my last item that I'm testing out there. I have had about 45 miles. I've had 45 miles of any trail experience with this thing. So this will be going along with me as well. So anyway, thanks guys. See you next time.